all roads lead to the Annika Pro-Am. Trust me, all roads, all cameras, all people will be tuned in for the Annika Pro-Am. Why? To see the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, take over the show.
Here we go again. Caitlin Clark just found another way to take over the headlines. And this time, basketball wasn't even involved. She quietly appeared at an LPGA event, and within minutes, sports media across the country flipped into overdrive. Photos of her laughing with fans, greeting golfers, and taking her first swing started spreading faster than any highlight reel. Suddenly, golf pages were trending, and that never happens. What's interesting is how naturally it happened. No big campaign, no weeks of planning, just Caitlin showing up, and instantly the cameras couldn't look away. People online were half joking, half serious. How is the LPGA promoting her better than the WNBA does? That one question set the tone for the entire weekend. It wasn't about golf anymore. It was about marketing, respect, and recognition. The event that was meant to be small and local became a full-scale media moment. Clips of Caitlin smiling mid-swing ended up on ESPN's homepage. Golf Digest ran short interviews about her crossover appeal, and social feeds everywhere filled with comments from basketball fans discovering a new sport just because she was there. It showed the same pattern we've seen all year. Wherever Caitlin goes, energy follows. She brings attention, new viewers, and conversation. And sometimes that attention reveals a hard truth. The people outside her league might be celebrating her louder than the ones inside it.
Caitlin, that could be in. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Caitlin! Right from the hole! She was away! No! Caitlin! Wow. Are we sure it didn't go in? Is this like a, we're good, we're gonna call this a birdie?
I don't think so.
Oh! Yes!
Come on. That's huge. Great birdie.
Woo!
Great birdie, great birdie.
What started as a lighthearted celebrity appearance quickly turned into a live lesson in how to market women's sports. The LPGA's approach was fast, focused, and modern. They didn't just let Caitlin show up. They built the story around her from the moment she accepted the invite. They posted teaser photos, coordinated short clips, and had press releases ready before she even picked up a club. Every step looked intentional. Meanwhile, the WNBA stayed quiet. No shoutouts, no retweets, not even a good luck post. That silence stood out immediately. Fans on social media began comparing both leagues side by side, one clearly proud to feature her, the other acting like nothing happened. The contrast was impossible to ignore. Analysts called it a masterclass in timing, because the LPGA understood what Caitlin brings. Not just skill, but connection. She bridges generations. Parents know her from Iowa, kids watch her on TikTok, and sponsors see her as the future of women's sports. So the LPGA leaned into that image. They captured the crossover energy and opened golf to a brand new audience in real time. It felt effortless but calculated, like they'd been waiting for this exact opportunity. And here's the thing, it worked. Caitlin came across as genuine and curious, learning a new sport and enjoying herself. The league came across as supportive and forward-thinking. Everyone involved won something from that weekend. The LPGA gained attention and credibility, while Caitlin's brand grew even bigger. Yet the WNBA, the league that should benefit the most from her fame, was nowhere in sight. Their silence didn't just look odd, it looked outdated. The Pro-Am event was supposed to be small, just athletes having fun, raising money, nothing headline-worthy. But the moment Caitlin Clark's name hit the invite list, everything shifted. Ticket sales jumped overnight. Media outlets started calling for press passes. Even golf networks that hadn't planned to stream the round began rearranging schedules to cover it. Fans showed up early, wearing Iowa gear and Fever jerseys. They waited by the ropes just to catch a glimpse of her warm-up swing. When Caitlin finally teed off, the crowd erupted. Applause, cheers, camera flashes everywhere. It felt less like a golf tournament and more like a championship atmosphere. You could actually feel the buzz through the videos posted online. The LPGA team noticed immediately and moved fast. They rolled out highlight clips, close-ups, short edits for social media, and clever captions like, "Queen of the Court meets Queen of the Course." Each post hit thousands of shares within minutes. For nearly 2 days, golf dominated trending tabs. Not because of a record score, but because one athlete made the sport feel exciting again. People who had never cared about golf were suddenly watching. Comment sections were full of new fans saying, "I don't even follow this, but Caitlin makes it fun." That's influence you can't buy. And while the LPGA soaked in the attention, the WNBA stayed on mute. No posts, no interaction, just silence while another sport demonstrated exactly how to embrace a superstar. In the end, it wasn't just about golf or basketball, it was about recognizing what moves culture. Caitlin Clark didn't just hit a golf ball. She proved once again that her name alone can lift an entire event. And for leagues watching from the sidelines, that's the clearest marketing lesson they could ever get.
Caitlin Clark will compete in the Annika Pro-Am. This is gonna be fire. Y'all know she set the whole golf world on fire last year, had everybody tuned in.
When the LPGA paired Caitlin Clark with world number 1 Nelly Korda, it wasn't just a coincidence. It was a strategic move. Two elite women from different sports, both with huge followings, walking side by side on national TV, that's marketing gold. It instantly turned what was supposed to be a quiet exhibition into a major media event. Every outlet jumped on the story. Caitlin Clark joins forces with golf's top player. The images of them laughing and chatting during warm-ups spread across social feeds within minutes. And that's what made this moment so powerful. The LPGA didn't just invite Caitlin, they built around her. They understood the value she brings and made sure everyone could see it. She was in every promo graphic, every headline, every highlight reel. They gave her the same treatment a league usually gives its biggest champion. Meanwhile, the WNBA was silent. Not a single post, not a clip, not even a retweet. For a league that owes half its record-breaking ratings to her, that silence was deafening. Fans started calling them out under every comment section, asking, why is golf celebrating her more than her own league? And honestly, it was a fair question. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. One league seized the moment and turned it into a celebration. The other let it pass by like nothing happened. The LPGA's bold move didn't just help golf, it reminded everyone what happens when you actually support your stars. Their approach was simple but effective. Promote the moment, not the politics. And the response proved it worked. For the first time in years, golf felt electric, and Caitlin Clark was at the heart of it. When Caitlin finally teed off, the atmosphere felt nothing like a typical golf event. Crowds lined the fairway like it was a Final Four matchup. You could hear cheers echoing across the course, fans holding up signs, shouting her name, even chanting, "Let's go, Caitlin!" It was surreal. People weren't there for golf technique or swing analysis. They were there for her. The LPGA immediately recognized what they had. Their social media team was posting non-stop. Short clips of her laughing with fans, signing autographs, taking selfies, joking about her golf swing. They even dropped that viral caption, "Queen of the Court, meet Queen of the Course." It was short, sharp, and perfect. That one line alone summed up everything. Within hours, the post went viral across platforms. For 2 straight days, Caitlin Clark dominated sports headlines. ESPN, Bleacher Report, Yahoo Sports, and even non-sports outlets covered the story. People who'd never watched a golf tournament suddenly knew who Nelly Korda was. It became a crossover moment that benefited everyone. Caitlin looked like the true ambassador of women's sports. Approachable, confident, and fun. The LPGA got a wave of new followers, and golf suddenly felt trendy again. But more than anything, it showed the power of embracing momentum. The LPGA didn't hesitate or overthink. They didn't worry about sharing the spotlight. They just leaned in, celebrated her, and made the moment positive. And fans loved it. Because for once, women's sports felt united instead of competitive. Meanwhile, the WNBA's silence started looking more awkward by the hour. Their biggest star was being celebrated on every sports page in the country, and they had nothing to say. For fans watching both leagues, that difference said it all. Here's where things went from surprising to frustrating. Fans expected the WNBA to at least acknowledge the moment. A quick post, a shout out, anything. But again, total silence. As soon as highlights of Caitlyn walking the course hit the internet, people flooded the WNBA's own comment sections. Why aren't you sharing this? LPGA doing your job for you. It became impossible to ignore. The LPGA was collecting praise, headlines, and new followers by the hour. The WNBA, meanwhile, looked like it was pretending the whole thing wasn't happening. That silence didn't just look awkward, it looked emotional, like they were unsure how to handle their own superstar's popularity. Because this wasn't controversy. Caitlyn wasn't making noise or calling anyone out. She was being exactly what every league dreams of: talented, humble, and marketable. And that's why fans felt so disappointed. This could have been the easiest PR win of the season. One quick, "We love seeing our players grow the game" post, and boom, instant goodwill. Instead, the LPGA looked like the more modern, supportive organization, while the WNBA seemed disconnected from its biggest success story. The truth is, Caitlyn doesn't need the league to build her brand anymore, but the league still needs her energy to grow theirs. Every time another organization embraces her, that difference becomes clearer. She keeps bringing the light, and somehow her own league keeps stepping out of it. It's not bitterness, that it's a missed opportunity. And in the social media age, missed moments are what hurt most. So why the resistance? Why act like she's not the face of the league when every fan already knows she is? That's the question people kept asking all weekend. The LPGA leaned straight into her popularity and came out looking smart, united, and modern. They didn't complicate it. They said, "She's a star, let's celebrate that." And the result was massive attention and positivity. Compare that with the WNBA, which turned silence into another PR problem. Analysts called it out. Commentators asked why the league couldn't just enjoy the success. Even players from other sports were praising Caitlyn's crossover moment, while WNBA leadership stayed quiet. It felt like the league was afraid that recognizing her meant ignoring everyone else. But that's not how sports work. Every league has a face. Someone who pulls people in and opens the door for others. The NBA had Jordan, then Kobe, then LeBron. The WNBA has Caitlyn Clark right now. Pretending otherwise doesn't make things fairer. It just slows progress. The LPGA's handling of her appearance proved that celebrating a star doesn't take away from the rest of the athletes. It shines a light on all of them. Their players looked proud, not jealous. They laughed with her, took pictures, and enjoyed the moment. That kind of chemistry sells sports better than any commercial ever could. By the end of the weekend, golf looked cool, unified, and fun. 3 words you don't usually hear in the same sentence. Meanwhile, fans watching from the outside drew their own conclusions. One league embraced change and grew. The other clung to caution and stood still. The lesson couldn't be clearer. When you celebrate your stars, your sport moves forward. When you hold them back, someone else will take the spotlight you let go. If anyone still doubted the impact Caitlyn Clark has, the numbers from that weekend erased it. Ticket sales at the LPGA event spiked. Social media engagement tripled. Merchandise sold out before the second day even started. Golf's online audience jumped by thousands of new followers, many of them basketball fans discovering the LPGA for the first time. That's what real crossover power looks like. And here's the key difference. The LPGA treated it as a partnership. They saw Caitlyn as a bridge between fan bases. They didn't overthink it or wait for corporate approval. They acted fast and made it happen. Meanwhile, the WNBA continues to treat her popularity like something fragile, something that needs to be balanced. But that approach is holding them back. Every major sports league in history has been built on breakout stars. The NBA had its icons. Tennis had Serena. Soccer has its Messis and Ronaldos. These athletes didn't overshadow the sport. They expanded it. Caitlyn has the same potential, but only if the people around her realize that her success is everyone's success. Her games this season consistently drew the biggest ratings. When she wasn't on the court, viewership dipped. Sponsors lined up around her appearances, not the league's brand as a whole. That's not a coincidence. That's star power measured in real data. The LPGA saw that instantly. They didn't worry about who might get less attention. They focused on what could grow the audience. They made a smart, simple move. Show the person who moves numbers. And it paid off immediately. For a few days, golf outperformed basketball online, all because they understood something the WNBA still struggles with. People don't follow organizations, they follow stories. And right now, Caitlin Clark is the story. By the end of the weekend, even the players inside the LPGA event were talking about it. There was no jealousy, no tension, just support. Nelly Korda, the world's #1 golfer, publicly thanked Caitlin for bringing a fresh energy to the sport. That one quote alone blew up online because it showed something rare in professional sports: mutual respect without rivalry. Everywhere you looked, the vibe was positive. Caitlin joked about hoping she wouldn't slice the ball into the crowd. Fans laughed, and she kept signing autographs between holes. She was relaxed, approachable, and real. The kind of authenticity fans connect with instantly. And the LPGA captured it all. Smiling photos, short behind-the-scenes clips, quick sound bites that felt human. They weren't afraid of giving her too much attention. They understood that more visibility helps everyone. Contrast that with what's been happening all season in the WNBA. Instead of unity, there's been tension. Subtle side comments, viral clips of players sounding tired of her attention. Fans notice that energy right away. When they see another league, one that isn't even her home sport, treat her like an honored guest, it highlights how cold her own league can sometimes appear. The LPGA's approach proved that celebration brings results. They didn't protect egos or worry about equal spotlight. They just embraced the moment, and it worked. Sponsors loved it, fans loved it, and the headline stayed positive from start to finish. Caitlin didn't just represent basketball. She represented the potential of women's sports done right. Her humility, her humor, her presence, everything about her reminded people why they fell in love with sports in the first place. And while golf gained new life from that energy, the WNBA's ongoing silence started feeling like more than a missed tweet. It felt like a pattern. Because every time Caitlin shines outside the league, it reminds the world that women's sports don't need to compete with each other. They just need to celebrate each other. The LPGA understood that immediately, and that simple mindset made all the difference. By the time the event wrapped up, Caitlin Clark was trending everywhere once again. But this time, it wasn't because of a buzzer beater or controversy, it was because of joy. The weekend had been nothing but positivity. Smiling fans, happy players, and non-stop coverage that made women's sports look united for once. That's the part that stung for WNBA supporters. While golf was out there celebrating her, basketball's biggest league stayed quiet. It's a pattern we've seen all year. When she breaks attendance records, silence. When her jersey becomes the top seller, silence. When other sports or brands showcase her talent, silence again. And every time it happens, more people start asking the same question. Why does the WNBA act like the only person who doesn't realize Caitlin's value is the WNBA? Even analysts started pointing it out. One comment went viral. The LPGA treated Caitlin like the superstar she is. The WNBA treats her like a PR risk. That single sentence summed up months of frustration. Because the LPGA didn't just invite her, they recognized her, supported her, and gave her the kind of treatment that makes athletes want to come back. The WNBA could have joined in, shared the moment, and looked strong and united. A simple repost, a highlight, a quote. Anything would have shown that the league stands behind its brightest star. Instead, the silence told another story. A league unsure how to handle success when it arrives too quickly. And that's the real takeaway from all this. While the LPGA expanded its reach and earned new fans, the WNBA let another league steal the spotlight it already owned. Caitlin Clark isn't trying to embarrass anyone. She's proving day by day how powerful genuine enthusiasm can be. She's the kind of player who makes people care, who turns casual viewers into loyal fans, and who brings positive attention to every room she walks into. So maybe this whole weekend wasn't just a golf story. Maybe it was a wake-up call, a reminder that in sports, attention is earned, but appreciation must be shown. The LPGA understood that. The WNBA still has time to learn it. Because the truth is simple. When you celebrate your stars, the whole game rises with them. Ignore them, and eventually someone else will take the spotlight you left behind. And that's exactly what we just watched happen, live on the fairway.